to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. Again, we only have very special guests. Today we go to the UK, Steve Hill. If you read his biography, don't fall off the chair. It's very inspirational. Climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, that's what we have in common. Climbing Mont Blanc, trekking 200 miles through the Sahara Desert. What is intriguing to me, at least, is the Amazon. And just recently, 10 days, 10 marathons in Iceland. Steve, tell us more about you. What is it that you can do all of this? What is your superpower that gets you to do all these things? I'm very curious.
Good evening, Suzanne. Thanks for inviting me along tonight. But it's not superpowers. It's just a determination, I think, and a will to push my boundaries, to explore the world out there, but also to inspire others, particularly the children that I teach. I'm a primary school teacher. It's the greatest job in the world. But as I say, I think there's children today, young people today, need inspiring. And it's showing others what was possible through self-belief, through hard work, through determination. And most importantly, never giving up when things get tough. The message is that anything in life is possible. And none of us know what we're capable of until we push those boundaries and come out of those comfort zones. That's my big motivation. And just determination and strong mindset. I think we do encounter setbacks. Things do get tough. And we just got to keep moving forward, haven't we? It's only taking small steps to get to that final goal.
You said you're a teacher and it feels like you're motivated when you started. This is inspiring. And I know teaching is very hard.
It's more than a full-time job. It's very hard, very demanding, but very rewarding. As I say, it's not getting any easier, the job. We've got a lot of responsibilities, teaching a curriculum, accountability, making progress, etc., etc. A number of years ago now, I've been teaching now 25 years. I just felt that there was a lack of inspiration within particularly education. I wanted to inspire the children that I taught beyond the classroom. I wanted to open up the world to them. I wanted to show them there's a big world out there. And it's their life. And I don't know, I meet children, I see children who've got very low aspirations. And my message to those children and young people and adults, I suppose, is that who's got big dreams? We're all entitled to big, big dreams. And those dreams should be so big that they excite us so much and even frighten us. Nobody's got the right to tell us that our dreams are too big, that we're not good enough. But we've got to believe in ourselves. Hopefully by taking on these big challenges each year, try and push the boundaries further. I'm showing the children and young people that, as I say, through that self-belief, you got to believe it yourself, first of all. You're going to have to working hard and being determined when you do get your setbacks, not giving up, taking those small steps and keep moving forward. Anything in life is possible. And I think that's one of the most important messages we can give to people, not just young people, adults. We all need to hear that message sometimes, isn't it? We sometimes forget our dreams. It's about reigniting, the flame, if you like, of pushing the boundaries and getting out there. I'm a firm believer that when we do come out of our comfort zones, that's where the magic happens. That's where we really discover what we're truly capable of.
Magic is happening. When did that start in you? What was the pivotal moment? To me, I moved to New York and I want to run in Central Park. Then one step leads to the other. What was it for you?
It does indeed. As I said, I've been teaching 25 years and my challenges started about 12 years ago, back in 2009. And it was, I played sports to a good level. I finished playing the sports. It was rugby for me. But I just saw that lack of inspiration, as I say. And it was about me pushing myself. As a teacher, I was often preaching to the children, you can do it, be your best. I thought, well, I've got to practice what I preach. There's no point in being the preacher. Show them what is possible. And I wanted to find out what I was truly capable of. And I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I've fully aware of what I'm capable of, as I say, and I don't think any of us are. It's pushing those boundaries, and then you push further boundaries, and you come out of that comfort zone, and then suddenly those boundaries change again, isn't it? We keep pushing it. How exciting is that to keep seeing and discovering what we're truly capable of. I don't think any of us know what full potential we've got inside us until we get out there and, as I said, push those boundaries. So the pivotal moment was 2009 to go and climb Mount Kilimanjaro, which was something completely out of my comfort zone, something I'd never tried before, high altitude, and it was my first time in Africa. And it was an amazing adventure. You said that you've done it yourself. The summit night was tough. It's not an easy challenge at all. It's high altitude. It's a long slog. And it is a case of left foot, right foot, repeat, and just pushing on and keeping that mind set strong, isn't it? And not listening to those voices in your head that are saying, come on, rest time now. It'd be easy to go back to camp, and just think, no, there's a reason I started. Not keep remembering your why, and pushing on and getting to that summit as sun rises. Hitting that, I experienced something I didn't expect on the summit of Kilimanjaro, and I got quite emotional as the sun, came up, the sunrise, and the guy turned to me and said, "Steve, you've conquered the mountain. Congratulations," type of thing. And it was like, wow, I was overcome with emotion. As I said, there was no great plan to carry on each of the challenges each year. I couldn't wait to get back to school, to share it with the children, and the children were very excited to hear all about it. But then it was like, what's next, sir? What are you doing next? And that's carried on every year. So as I say, every year it was. In 2009, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. In 2010, climbing Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in Western Europe. Then it was a case of, trying pushing myself in a different environment, the desert environment, which was the Sahara Desert, trekking 200 miles through the Sahara Desert. Then climbing Mount Everest, the highest mountain. And then it was a case of a discussion with the children. It was like, well, sir, you've proved yourself in the mountains type of thing. You've challenged yourself in a desert. You've been through these environments. You've not been into a jungle. The next challenge then was to Borneo and trek through the jungles of Borneo, which again was a great adventure, an Arctic wilderness adventure with huskies. That was back in 2013. A big dream of mine is to climb Mount Everest one day. I would love to climb Mount Everest and stand on top of the world.
I'll go with you.
You can
Let me know.
Right, deal.
I heard not everybody can go onto Mount Everest. You are sometimes being picked to be part of a team. We need to be the nice people that people want to go with. We need to make a checklist on, let's put that on our plan. I think we'll be good company.
We'd be a good company and good motivators for the rest of the team. But
good.
Definitely something I would like to do. The next best thing for me, this was back in 2014, was to get to base camp, to go and experience the get to base camp and see what that was all about, and hopefully return one day to climb Everest. And as I was doing my research for that challenge, if you like, that adventure, I came across an event that I didn't know existed, which was the Mount Everest, a marathon starting at base camp and running back to Namche Bazaar. And that really excited me. I knew that would take me well out of my comfort zone. I knew it would excite the children. I booked it. Now, when I booked that, I had never in my life run a marathon before. So that was going to be my first marathon, running from Mount Everest base camp. You can imagine the knockers and the doubters, if you like, the bonkers. What you doing? You're running your first marathon at Everest. You should be running a road marathon. But I say, excited me, excited the children. I knew I could do it. I trained hard. And I go back to old mantra: self-belief, hard work, determination, never giving up when things get tough. Anything's possible. And off I went to Kathmandu, flew into Lukla, trekked to base camp, encountered some quite extreme weather, a lot of snow, but then found myself on the start line of the Mount Everest Marathon under the gaze of Mount Everest, again with some of the best runners in the world, the most accomplished marathon runners in the world. And little old Steve Hill, primary school teacher from Shaw in Oldham. A message I do give to children and young people is we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to other people. Be the best version of yourself that you can be, isn't it? Whether it's on the start line of the Mount Everest Marathon with some of the most accomplished runners, it doesn't matter. I'm not racing you. I'm being the best version of myself. I'm going to have my own adventure, my own challenge, run my own race, and be proud of myself at the end, isn't it? And when I'm running races, I'll get under the mantra of, get to that start line, get to that finish line, enjoy the journey, journey.
When you think about even the best runners, the winners, we all start at the same start line. We all finish at the same finish line, maybe a little faster, maybe a little slower, but we cover the same distance.
We do. And if you're a slower runner like me, you're getting more value for money. Yeah, I'm getting that experience for longer. I look at it that way. And it was great. Returning from that again to share the Everest experience with the children that I teach was magical. But then again, that old hand went up at the back of the class and it was, what's next? I love that conversation I had with the children. I did my research and I thought, well, how do I surpass running a marathon at Mount Everest? Doing some research, I came across the North Pole Marathon. And that really excited me. I thought, wow, standing at the North Pole and running a marathon around the North Pole, that is as extreme as it gets. I booked it, I did my training, trained hard through the winter. Children got very excited. I'm quite excited about the fact that Sir might get eaten by a polar bear, but the danger element always, appeals to the children. Obviously, they'd miss me if that had been the case. And I find myself again in the school holidays flying up to stopping at Svalbard and then landing at Camp Barney and then running my second marathon around the North Pole, which was temperatures reaching minus 60 degrees almost, which was beyond extreme. But I completed it. And each time getting PBs, it was 9.5 hours for the Mount Everest marathon. I think it was about 9 hours, 15 minutes for the North Pole marathon, which was just absolutely fabulous. And that was in 2015. So again, it was, well, what are you going to do next? I just thought, well, yeah, I want to up the game. The next one was a desert marathon through the Petra Desert Marathon, which was again plus 40 degrees temperatures. And beyond that, it was, well, right, okay, let's push beyond marathon distances. And again, doing some research, I came across Amazon Jungle Ultra Marathon, which again was beyond bonkers. 6 marathons in 5 days through the Amazon jungle, totally self-supported. But again, it excited me. I talk about those big dreams that excite you and frighten you because they're so big. And that really did. Seed was planted. So I booked that, trained really hard, but it was a case now of getting equipment together, food together. It was about taking a hammock, sleeping in a hammock in the trees, carrying all your food, anti-venom pump.
Did you have to bring all your gears and you carried it every day, or
everything? Yeah, totally self-sufficient for the whole of that race. So that was a total new level. That took me to a different level of adventure, challenge, if you like. But it excited me, and to stand again on that start line with everything I needed to survive for the whole week on my back, again with some of the best runners in the world and primary school teacher from Shore Oldham. But that just excited me more. 3 days prior to that, I'd been in class with the children and got a send-off from them. And now I'm in the Amazon jungle on the start line with, again, some of the best runners in the world. But I had such an adventure ahead of me, and it was an epic adventure.
What did you bring? I mean, I'm curious about like the logistics. And I read you only brought one pair of shoes, and then you had a whole.
I was just going to tell you about the shoe story, which I'll get to in a second, and losing the toenails. But food for 5 days, snacks but you've got to carry everything. You've got to try and minimise the weight. A hammock, a sleeping, obviously water bottles that can be replenished at checkpoints, and anti-venom pump, dry socks as much as possible. But again, keeping the weight down. That feeling of being on a start line of a race was totally different from a marathon, because a marathon, you're going to finish that marathon that day. It's 26.2 miles. It's no mean feat, but it's done in that day and you can rest. But the ultra marathon is, and self-supported, you're carrying everything that you need to survive for those 5 days, and it's getting up on tired legs and going again. But in the Amazon jungle, you've got the environment as well, which is about as extreme as it gets. In the briefing before the race, we were told the jungle is designed to kill. So just be careful out there type of thing. So that was like the parting gesture. Be careful out there. All right, okay, yeah. But again, what a privilege to be in the Amazon jungle. I teach the children about it at school. It's on the curriculum. I've taught it myself at school. And again, I'm a middle of the pack, back of the pack runner, but I want to enjoy that journey. I want to take it in. I want to take the photographs. I want to sit in a river and remind myself where I am. It's important to take in these experiences. But yeah, going back to the start line, finished stage one, the day one, which was a marathon distance, came into camp. And there was a routine when you got into camp. It was into camp, put your hammock up within the trees, wet top off, because there were a lot of river crossings, so very wet. It was always very humid. Dry top on, and get a little bit of food, so you rehydrated food down you, and get in the hammock and get a few hours sleep as best as possible. Up in the morning, everything in reverse, pack everything back into your backpack, and get to the start line to go again. And it was on the start of stage 2. I was feeling strong. I was feeling positive. I was ready to go again for stage 2. And everything, like you said, got my breakfast, a bit of dry porridge, hammock down, get everything packed away. And it was at that point when I reached down to pick up my left trainer, I realised there was a big 6-inch rip down the side. And it was like a total moment of disbelief, absolute shock, disbelief. And I sat there and thought, I'm in the middle of the Amazon jungle. Yeah, you can't take a spare pair because
there's no Nike store.
There's no stores. There's nothing at all. It's just, I'm in the middle of the Amazon jungle. My trainer is ripped, not just a slight rip. It's a big rip. There's no way I can continue. How can I continue running another 5 marathons through one of the toughest terrains in the world? And I sat there and felt sorry for myself. And it was like game over. All this training, all this preparation, game over. But then I gave my head a bit of a wobble and thought, well, get a grip. Come on. It's a problem. Let's deal with it. Spoke to the race director. He shook his head in disbelief, but then it was like, well, get some gaffer tape out. And I said, well, what do you mean gaffer tape? He said, well, that's what people bring, gaffer tape. I take gaffer tape now in every challenge I go on, but at that moment in time, I didn't have any gaffer tape. But other runners did. Like most things, teamwork, I was given gaffer tape my trainers up. And off I went. And, I completed the race. I had the best of benches. I lost 6 toenails As a result of that, my feet were in a bit of a bad way. But that training now for me was a lesson in life, and it's something I use again to share with other people, that the trainer is a little bit like you prepare for everything, you work hard in life, like I did for the ultra marathon. But in times in life, you're going to get setbacks, like the RIP trainer, and we're all going to get setbacks. But what is important is how we respond to those setbacks. We can sit there and feel sorry for ourselves and blame everybody else, and then quit, or we can sit there and not like the setback, but take responsibility for it. It's our setback. And look for solutions, and then push on at a slow pace if need be. Get the gaffer tape out, get the zip ties out, and push on at a slow pace with that left foot, right foot repeats. And as I say, again, a good message for people. We learn from it and we move forward, don't we? And keep pushing on to that ultimate goal. I keep the toenails are kept in a Ziploc bag in class, and then from time to time we pass them round, which is a bit wrong, I think. But every time I lose a toenail now, they get added to the bag. It's a bit of something. A new class in September. They get to meet the toenails, and that's pretty sad. But
I like that too. I lost a few of my toenails running marathons. I think that's a runner's thing. They're tough.
It's a badge of honor. Could they grow back
we move on. And women, we have pedicures, right? So we can color the nails, and it doesn't look so bad.
Absolutely. And then as I said, they grow back eventually. But that was great, and that took me to a different level totally. And then beyond on from that, it was onto the Arctic Ice Ultra, which again was 6 marathons in 5 days, to the Arctic Wilderness, which was the complete opposite, and that was really treacherous. minus 40 degrees temperatures. There was 30 of us started that race, and only at the end of stage 2 there was 12 of us left. 18 had been pulled through hypothermia, frostbites, etc. It brought home to me how dangerous the cold environments are. But again, a magical experience. I seemed to get all my equipment right, made the right decisions, and finished that race. I had the great privilege of running under the Northern Lights across frozen lakes, and then lockdown came, and obviously challenges stopped, travel stopped. Yeah. But since then, obviously, I've been to Uganda Marathon twice, got involved in projects over there, which has led to me setting up a charity, Team Hill Charitable Trust, which we'll talk about more about later.
Thank you so much. Wow. What can we say? 9 marathons in 9 days, Amazon jungle. I don't know. One step at a time, be determined, be positive, don't give up, never give up. What a story. What are you taking away? Take it from the Iron Woman. We have episodes every Monday, every Wednesday. Chime in. There's something for everybody. And also Take It from the Iron Woman is a book, Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. Make sure you download it or order it and read from my journey from Switzerland to New York to Kilimanjaro. Thank you for your support.